Morning. Go. Yeah. New edition. New edition. Starting. Go. You also notice that in the background, Grey Mouse goes left to right. Well, fix that. Page 8. I didn't do a draft. Gonna do the draft. Nice little warm up, I guess. Sense. And my alarm scares me, startles me. Maybe. Morning, Cryo. How are you? Pretty good. That's good. That's nice. Glad you're doing well. Currently in the city. Oh, got big plans? Plans for the date? That's it. Gonna have breaks with the boy, then take him to Chaos Labs. Cool, that sounds like a lot of fun. I hope that's a good day. I hope the weather holds out. I haven't looked outside. I haven't looked outside. Oh my God, I can't believe I said that. I haven't checked the weather, but hope it holds out for you. That sounds Chaos Labs is an interactive science show. It's oh, that's awesome. It's like Questacon, Canberra, in a sense. I want to add extra panels above it. No, I want it to be like a what the toy is. What did Dogen choose? Experiments and stuff. Ooh, even better. That's awesome. Up of it. Fine. I mean, it is just you know what I mean. Remember the difference between dicking around and science is if you make notes or not. Pretty much. A lot of instances that is very accurate. We have penicillin because the guy forgot to clean out his bin, stuff like that. Not that again, draft. Or like a single exhibit from Questacon. Ah, that's still super awesome. I miss that science stuff, like the science places. I don't think they have one in Adelaide. Should be fun. I bet. It sounds like a lot of fun. They have like a science place here in Adelaide, but it's I think closed down. So as a result, it's just not there. I don't know how much it will cost or how it works, but I'm sure. But you'll suss it out soon. Fair enough. Yeah, one of those things. It shouldn't be too bad. Like, it shouldn't be financially ruinous. Sure. How goes? How good was Questacon though? Hey Snow, it's lovely to see you. Questacon was fucking poppin'. It was the best. Holy crap! What a good place. Very cool. You were into science as a kid. You went to Questacon, like, and you lived in Canberra. You went to Questacon. Point. Uh, both love and hate how accurate my statement is. Yeah, yeah. I mean that's the nature of science, right? We had to start somewhere. We were dicking about first, and then learning second. Uh, had a school camp where you slept over in Questacon as a school trip. Best time. That's oh yeah, they used to do that. That was I mean, maybe they still do that, but that's awesome. I always wanted to do that, but I never got to. Tragic backstory field. Never got to sleep over at Questacon. Though to be fair, as a kid, I didn't like sleep. I wasn't a sleepover kid. Sadness, sadness, tragic backstory. Grey Mouse's childhood. Terribly sad. Go to Quest. Oh, I didn't sleep at Questacon once. Yes, no, we're on the last page. Maybe last page. I keep saying maybe because like I feel confident that it'll be the last page, but I could always be wrong. I might add more shit and then here for another few hours. Oh, and right, monochrome, I'm monotone. I have to say I really like how lunch slash dinner slash tomorrow's meals turned out. Oh yeah, some of your best work. Chef's kiss. Oh, right angle. Not your best by any means. Certainly very good for the amount of effort. Oh, nice. That's excellent. Then. Very good. Snow the Hero, same. You slept in the sports science area, and I remember racing Kathy Freeman. Oh, right. sounds cool. Slept in the planetary science area, but you and your mates couldn't get to sleep, so you went and moved sleeping bags to the bridge that had the mirror tube going around it. Oh, damn. Good experience, not the way you thought you'd end up surrounded by boys. Ah, yeah, of course. Completely unsurprising. It would be, but not that way. Yeah. I think you would struggle sleeping on a more than planetaria. Very fair. I think there'd be a lot of like a lot of stimulus, you know, a lot going on to distract you. Half a kilogram of minced beef, I think, turn y'all, uh, y'all use a hamburger. Oh, right, yeah, it is minced beef, ground hamburger, but that plus 1 cup of lentils, beef broth, and cups of rice mix. Mix all together, put on a tortilla, add cheese and yum yum sauce. Burrito, I've made it before. Water and not broth, but broth really makes it much better. That sounds great. That sounds fantastic. Cheap and easy, about $10 US, and 30 minutes for 5 or so meals. Damn. Yeah, that is really good value. That's a good sounding meal. Yeah. Read. might tell you about so I played a little bit more Tears of the Kingdom yesterday night, and I finally got down to the mainland, so I was no longer in the clouds and stuff. And as soon as I touched down on the land, mainland, I get a blood moon, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like the worst possible outcome I could have gotten landing and stuff, and I'm just like, God damn it! It is great. I have really enjoyed playing it. I found Mushroom Lady, uh, lady who wears a mushroom outfit. Very cute. James way of saying you took too long. Yeah, oh my god, I absolutely did. No, I absolutely took too long. I know that, and I accept that. But holy crap. Um, Land, Blood Moon, and then Zelda's like, Blood Moon rises. And I'm like, Zelda, I saw you like a minute ago. Like Mushroom Lady, like the one you put on Discord. Exactly like the one you put on Discord. Suddenly you're a fan of the new Zelda game now. It's pretty good. Like I'm enjoying it. There's also like one thing I didn't realize until I've played this one is that a lot of the enemies in Breath of the Wild were quite like simplistic in that you had the bokoblins and then and like different variations of bokoblins, but you didn't actually have a whole lot of like variation. Uh, in that oh and the Zathos, like those like lizard people. And you had a few like little enemies and stuff like that, but that was about it. But then in this game they've actually really like amped that up. We have different variations of monsters, which is really cool. It's almost like slightly more like a cartoony Witcher game without the like same sort of Witcher like prepare for a fight against this specific type of enemy like oils and stuff, but it's like you have a larger catalog of monsters and enemies to face, and it's really interesting and it's a lot of fun as well. Because you're just like, oh, if I go into this cave, will I find a horo- horoglin or whatever, and things like that. They're all really hard to pronounce for me, bad at pronouncing stuff. But yeah, like it's super cool, and I am actually like I've been really getting into it. So in this part of the comic, Ratchet Aratu, the bee, so a little bee, and named him Aratu. uh, as like a little gift. Yeah, I'd highly recommend. Y'all know me, of course, right up my alley. Basically, the background is slowly falling out because rain is coming in. Whole minced beef hamburger thing really messed up Zid. Hamburger is minced up beef. Hamburger patties is the round thing you get in hamburgers, at least in the South, and hamburger sold in a tub. Yeah, I can understand. I can understand like the alternation and stuff like that in names and stuff and naming conventions. That doesn't. It's not too wild for me. Also, I think in Japan they call it a hamburger, and it's quite common to have just like a hamburger patty as a meal. And from what, but I'm gonna go to Japan and see for myself. Gotta be sure. Gotta be certain. Hamburger steak. Yeah, that's it. Gotta make sure. Um, yeah, that's all just too large. You've made it before, and it before it can be between pretty good and pretty good and very good, depending on the effort and ingredients. Oh, cool. That doesn't surprise me. That sounds like a. That sounds like a. It's like a meal with like a low skill ceiling. No, a low skill floor, but a high skill ceiling. In that it can. It's very easy to get right, then do amazingly. Slightly more complicated. Not drawing Dogen's face just because I'm going to draw it in higher detail when I do the actual layer, so I just don't bother. Like I said, like I've explained before, like these draft layers are more for me to build shape, form, as opposed to actually build an image. They end up looking scuffed, silly. And I think Snow was someone who had a good idea of like me releasing just the draft images, because they do look goofy. Okay, I'm just trying to think like brain wise. Like, am I doing everything? Is everything there. Everything I need for final page. Pretty much there. We got a turning ratchet head, I think. I have a sort of question for the chat. Do we want, once we get into chapter 2, we're going to have more, it's going to be focused on Ratchet, and it's going to be like it's no longer in a dream space, it's in Ratchet's head and stuff. Do we want for the um, descriptive panels to actually be from Ratchet's perspective, or like his inner thoughts? As in the narration of the scene? Yeah, sort of. I don't know what the right word for it is. Hard to find, I think. Narration is probably as close as I'll get, I think. Just leaving as much descriptive text uh, as possible, leaving that to the art more than text. I know that. That's why I'm asking, do we want Ratchet's thoughts instead? Um, as they wouldn't be descriptive text, they'd be character, like talking when there's no one around and stuff, basically. Oh, I mean, if it's a thought he's having and it adds to the scene building, yeah, that's like is what I was thinking. Is that like I don't want to fill up too much descriptive text. I'd rather it be like the little like yellow um, rectangles basically would just be Ratchet's thoughts. To me, that's a stylistic choice best left to me. Personally, I say use it. Sometimes you don't want an expo dump, nor do you want a rambling madman. Absolutely, I think that's a very fair point. Talking out loud is good, even if it isn't actually out loud. That's also a really good point. I think that might work better than having narration tabs. I like the classic line of "It's quiet, too quiet." Yeah, whispers to the audience, kind of thing. Yeah, that makes sense. Uh, I think Loki has it right, regardless of style. Limited is probably best. Yeah, that's fair. A hug. Got a hug in the scene. go with the character doing some setup, but don't use the character's inner monologue to do a 10-minute expo dump. I've seen that somewhere before, but I forgot where. And that, honestly, the fact that you've forgotten where is a really good uh, piece of evidence for why you just shouldn't do it. So yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Oh, color picked. There we go. The hook. Uh, hold on. Yeah, because it's usually forgettable. Exposed through context usually feels more fluid as a reader because you have that added advantage of having art to accompany your characters. Yeah, absolutely. And like the audience isn't stupid; they can piece together the information you're providing them visually. So we all D&D correct. We all D&D'd correct. I know Snow and I play D&D. I have played D&D. I don't know if Loki has. I don't know personally if Loki has. Um Cryo has we devs all TT RPG. That's actually a very good, that's a very diplomatic answer of you, Snow. If you actually join the Discord, Snow, you'll find in the poster art, Cryo's actually posted some really awesome looking minis that he's painted. They look fantastic. So I would recommend you check it out and actually join the fucking Discord. So what's your most morally grey thing you've done for good? Oh god. My characters are often pretty morally good as characters. Like we're talking. This is a guy who has Ratchet as Ratchet was one of my characters before he became a comic book character. Actually, that being said, morally grey. I've done some D&D. Oh, good. Like oh shit, is that the Imperial Army? That's okay. Or is that the Imperial Army? We've been at war for 10 years and they have a bounty out on my head. That's bad. That's fair. Probably just should, hey, I don't do a lot of Discord. That's fine. It's good to just join and then, like, it's safe and it provides you with, like, updates and announcements about when I go live and also updates to the store and updates to the comic and things like that. Uh, yeah. As opposed to me just telling you, which I'm happy to do. You know me, I'll talk your ear off about my comic, but it helps. Uh, but it's been around 15 years at this point. Doesn't matter. It still counts. It all still counts. I love that shit. Morally grey. Morally grey is tough because I'm just like, it makes me feel mean if I do something morally grey, despite being grey mouse. Silky smooth voice of yours. Thanks. I do what I can. I can. Makes me feel dirty. It does. It does. Most of my characters, like, it goes to show this is like the extent that I go to. Most of my characters don't have in-game relationships. And then also most of my characters, though having like some have sad backstories, um, it never fully engages on their behavior or it impacts their behavior. Your whole campaign that you run for Grey Mouse is themed out Shades of Grey. Yeah, he's mostly Shades of Grey. A half elf warlock fighter who's now taking on like the whole like swordsman Zoro kind of style of like combat, which is super cool and it's been a lot of fun to try out. But like his whole story is that like his parents were killed, and then well he was like abandoned as a baby, and then his adoptive parents were killed, and then he just went this whole like um just like revenge route. I wrote this whole thing on the premise of even the bad guys doing horrific things are doing it for the right reasons. Yeah, yeah, and it really translates in the story as well. Like, for those who don't know, it's not a case of right or wrong a lot of the time. So technically, this will be the last page. However, there will be a transitioning page to the next chapter. I'm realizing almost it's almost always chaotic good, even in reality. I'm doing the good thing, even if I have to steamroll people and lords. It's cooperate for your own sake. Yeah, yeah, exactly. My message get sent, or did it just have characters? I don't seem to see it. Uh, I think the last message I can see then was, so what's your most morally grey thing you've done for good? Oh, one moment. Uno momento. Unless I'm playing as a loot goblin, then my alignment is solely to my wallet and OCT. Honestly, fair. Ratchet would have been more looty if the threat of him being kicked from the party wasn't ever present. Rob's too many characters. Yeah. So to set the story, we were in a time-locked mansion where a sacrifice of a child was happening, and we had to stop the ritual. So we found the room, and the child was on the table, and the cultists were around the table, the leader with the sacrificial blade. After a few attempts, we couldn't get the blade away from the leader. Ooh, that's not good. I feel like I know where the story is going. My partner does something similar. Does. That way. Twitch doesn't seem to like the second half of your story. That's weird. On my end, it's sending. No better way to disrupt the ritual than to complete it before it's ready. That's also weird. Why is that happening? Killing tykes is an issue on Twitch. Yeah, maybe. Very potentially. Crit Roll had a big problem with it in season 2. Oh, weird. Maybe this then. Oh, man. Thinking I might take, so when I do my coffee break in a few minutes, I might take a slightly longer break just so that I can head to my local cafe. Um, like in Morrowind, I was a literal unkillable god flying everywhere, and what did I use that power to do? Win the game, that's too easy. Murder everyone, that's been done. Stealing every pillow and putting them in my house, so that's a constructive use of my time. That is a constructive time. Use of your time, I can see it. Yeah, basically, I finished the ritual before you did. Good. Oh, sweet. Yeah, love it. Oh, yeah, there it is. Sorry, I can see it. There, my brain is doing blanks. Yeah, so I decided the primary task was stop the ritual. Use the two-handed warhammer and ruin the ritual by crushing the little skull myself. I had emotions after this, but I stand firm. It was the right move. Yeah, incredible work. Great, great work for the greater good. Yeah, morally very squiffy, but in the moment it makes sense. I just didn't read it. It wasn't Twitch. It was me. It was my little monkey brain. Morally rough, but logically sound. Yeah, like the hold on. All good, all good. Like the lady in the Skyrim deep dive who stole and hoarded every sandwich she found in the cargo hold. She's one of my people. Not Skyrim, Starfield. Ah, Starfield, yes. Ooh, this would be a cool dynamic panel, actually. I might not need the. Well, I might need. Actually, this is where it will end. Like, this is where chapter 1 will end. And then chapter 2 starts with, like, trailing off part of the dream. Cool dynamic panel coming in. Gonna have Ratchet actually outside panels. Yeah! I love me a dynamic panel. Hell yeah, I'm just doing everything I can to make dynamic ass panels. Love them. Love them a bits. Uh, I'm sure I will do something similar, just not sure what item it will be. Fallout 4, it was obviously Nuka-Cola bottles. Never drank any, put every rare flavor on shelves and had a cool regular and cherry ones. Nice. Hey, what's going on here then? It appears that I am working on a comic, Frosty. Hello, how are you? How was your first DMing session? Speaking of D&D, how'd you go? How was it? I'll do the hands better when I actually do them. I'm good. As in the one shot you ran? Yeah, how was that? Then once I got the beer, but those bottles went into also. Nice. Yeah, it was good. Peeps had a lot of fun. Nice, nice, nice. Edgelord. Sorry, not you, Frosty. Dogan with his hair being like wet by the rain, becoming a bit of an edgelord. I made it so that a 5/6 hit, which made combat drag on a tad. So gotta rework the dice mechanic. That's fair. Like that's gonna take some time. A new dice mechanic needs time to work to flourish. Here as I am putting together the draft of chapter one, the draft of the final page of chapter one, and I'm actually making big streaks in the panel itself. So I'm actually going to uh, erase sections panel. This one. As the comic gets like cluttered and disjointed and stuff as Ratchet's dream ends. That would be a really nice thing to do, where basically it ends on a really important part for Ratchet. It won't be like a cliffhanger for everyone else, but it'll be an important part for Ratchet. Uh, you also made a pixel art Mario out of the color screens in Fallout 4. That's super cool. That would actually be awesome. Yeah, so I might run the one shot for one of your other groups and see how it goes. That'd be super cool. Yeah, I'd be keen to hear how they go. I've only run, so in recent years I've only run like 30-minute D&D sessions, which is basically I've created a really condensed version of D&D, and it's great, but it's just not the same, I don't think. Uh, at 8:54 here, I'm thinking if I do a coffee break, then I head to my local cafe. Um, I might be a little bit longer. That's the only thing. I keep wanting to run one shots, but for some reason, for someone who doesn't work, I'm very time poor. Very busy. You're very busy just in life. That's okay. That's okay. Ain't that just the way? Oh my god, ain't that just the way? Yeah. I spent a year putting together a campaign and then I moved and then became way too busy. And then I started up the comic and I was like, I'm never doing this campaign ever. I'm just not doing it. Like I don't have the time, I don't have the effort. I can't put the effort in, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of effort to run them. Yeah, it is. It's a lot. And sure, it's rewarding. It's like definitely rewarding, but holy crap, it's a lot. Okay, and that's the last page. I'm actually really happy with how it out. The draft, I mean. I'm not just gonna post this. I mean, I am gonna post this, not for the reasons people think. Your problem, like previously discussed with Gray, your mental abilities makes not playing physically fairly challenging. Yeah, yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's like there's almost like you really have to find that middle ground between burning yourself out with the effort and then also um, not putting any effort in. And that can be a tough middle ground to find. I found that like as a campaign goes on for me, I do more improv than I do preparation, and that can actually be really like damaging, like damaging for the experience for everyone. And it's just like you got to keep putting in that like same like routine amount of effort. Um, but also you got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself because running D&D is almost like it's this commitment that takes a lot of effort and takes a lot of time. And you got to be patient with yourselves, That's also very important. But I'm going to, without any further ado, gonna um, gonna take a coffee break. It's more being able to mentally create a scene when I'm not able to see it yourself. That's also a fair point. Yeah, that does add a little bit of complexity to it, doesn't it? How it took you ages yesterday. Yeah. I know. I was holding out then, but I also want to like my colleagues are gonna go to the coffee shop, to the cafe at around this time, so I'm gonna try and like meet them there almost, just so that I could like meet with people. Because Mouse was flirting with the barista. I'm always flirting with the barista. I flirt with every barista I know. I meet. Oh, nice. Winks and shit. Don't need to censor yourself. You're fine. Unless it censored you. But yeah. Spits in his coffee. She doesn't spit in my coffee, she spits in my mouth. Man's gonna get his bougie coffee. Fuck all you. I want good coffee. Way better. Yeah. Way better. It's way better because it's like an aperitif to the coffee. Anyway, I'll be back in 30-ish minutes and maybe a little bit longer, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm treating myself today. Treating myself. Enjoy my breaks. My break screen. My break screen doesn't have a dog like my stream starting screen, so apologies for that. I'll be back as soon as I can. Oh, and if the internet crashes while I'm gone, just you know how it is. Just deal with it, and then I'll deal with it when I get back. See you soon.